Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. Devarim, Deuteronomy 6:4. In part 1, we saw the fall of the daughters of Jerusalem and the bride. Her pride, her unfaithfulness, her judgment, and her restoration. But restoration is not just emotional. It's also physical, spiritual, and prophetic. In part 2, we enter the next phase, which is the return of the remnant. But here not everyone returns. Only those who remain faithful, refined, and called. The people who were scattered are now being gathered by the hand of Yah himself. Zechariah 2:8 reads, For thus said Jehovah of hosts, after honor he hath sent me unto the nations who are spoiling you. For he who is coming against you is coming against the daughter of his eye. Zechariah 9:3-4-6 reads, And Tyre doth build a bulwark to herself, and doth heap silver as dust, and gold as mire out of places. Lo, the Lord doth dispossess her, and he hath smitten in the sea her force, and she will with fire is consumed. See doth Ashkelon in fear, also Gaza, and she is exceedingly pained. Also Ekron, for her expectation dried up, and perished hath the king from Gaza, and Ashkelon doth not remain, and dwelt hath a foreigner in Ashdod, and I have cut off the excellency of the Philistines. Obadiah 1:1-7 reads, Thus said the Lord Jehovah to Edom, A report we have heard from Jehovah, and an ambassador among nations was sent. Rise, let us rise against her for battle. Lo, little I have made thee among nations. Despised art thou exceedingly. If thou dost go up high as an eagle, and if between stars thou dost set thy nest, from thence I bring thee down, an affirmation of Jehovah, unto thee border. Sent thee have all thine allies, forgotten thee, prevailed over thee, have thy friends. Thy bread they make a snare under thee. There is no understanding in him. Is it not in that day an affirmation of Jehovah, that I have destroyed the wise out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? For slaughter, for violence to thy brother Jacob, cover thee doth shame, and thou hast been cut off to the age. In the day of thy standing over against, in the day of strangers taking captive his force, and foreigners have entered his gates, and for Jerusalem have cast a lot. Even thou art as one of them. For near is the day of Jehovah on all the nations. As thou hast done, it is done to thee. Thy deed doth turn back on thy own head. Before anything happens, Yah establishes this. His people are deeply protected and personally valued. This is critical because what follows, war, judgment, scattering, is not abandonment. It is defense and justice. Nations build power, wealth, military strength, strategic alliances, but God declares, I will bring you down. Edom is judged for violence against Jacob and standing by during Israel's suffering. The nations are not judged randomly. They are judged based on how they treated God's people. Zechariah 12, 2-3 says, Lo, I am making Jerusalem a cup of reeling to all the peoples round about, and also against Judah it is, and the siege against Jerusalem. And it hath come to pass in that day, I make Jerusalem a burdensome to all the peoples. All loading it are completely pressed down, and gathered against it have been all nations of the earth. Zechariah 14, 2-3 says, And I have gathered all the nations unto Jerusalem to battle, and captured have been the city, and spoiled have been the houses, and the women are lain with. Going forth hath the city in a removal, and the remnant of the people are not cut off from the city. And gone forth hath Jehovah, and he hath fought against those nations as in the day of his fighting, in the day of conflict. Here we reach escalation. Jerusalem becomes a cup of trembling, a burdensome stone. All nations gather against her. The city is attacked, captured, and divided. And Yah steps in to fight. The pressure on Jerusalem is not failure. It is the stage for divine intervention. Bereshith, Genesis 15, 13-14 reads, And he said to Abram, Know that thy seed is a sojourner in a land not theirs, and they have served them, and they have afflicted them 400 years, and the nation also whom they serve I judge. And after this they go out with great substance. This isn't new. God already declared his people will be afflicted. They would be in bondage. He would judge that nation and bring them out with substance. This is a pattern, not a one-time event. The people Yah is referring to are the people who were held captive 400 years in a land and a nation that was not theirs. The people who they call African Americans, or who were in the past called Negroes, who before that were slaves in the country not theirs, were first Israelites from each of the 12 tribes. These people, because of their sin, were taken and became slaves for 400 years, from 1619 to 2019. But God says, with the judgment that is coming and that is happening around the world, in Gaza, with the Philistines, with Iran, with Russia, all these things are happening and taking place because I am returning my people home. I'm returning my people back to their homeland. And they will leave out from the land of their captivity with great substances. Jeremiah 33 says, For lo, days are coming, an affirmation of Jehovah, and I have turned back to the captivity of my people Israel and Judah, said Jehovah, and I have caused them to turn back unto the land that I gave to their fathers, and they do possess it. Jeremiah 30:10 reads, And thou be not afraid, my servant Jacob, an affirmation of Jehovah, nor be affrighted, O Israel. For lo, I am saving thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob hath turned back and rested, and is quiet, and there is none troubling. Zechariah 10:6-10 reads, And I have made mighty the house of Judah, and the house of Joseph I do save. And I have caused them to dwell, for I have loved them, and they have been as if I had not cast them off. For I am Jehovah their God, and I answer them, and I have brought them back from the land of Egypt, and from Ashur I do gather them, and into the land of the Gilead and Lebanon I do bring them in, and there is not found for them space. Here the shift begins. God says, I will bring them back. I will save you from afar. I will gather you from the nations. This is the key. Restoration is complete. It's as if the separation had never happened. God, He will bring us in from the land of our captivity, and none shall trouble us. None shall make us afraid. There will be so many of us, there will not be enough room. Obadiah 1:17 reads, And in Mount Zion there is an escape, and it hath been holy, and the house of Jacob hath possessed their possessions. Yeshayahu Isaiah 54:2-3 reads, Enlarge the place of thy tent, and the curtains of thy tabernacles they stretch out. Restrain not, lengthen thy cords, and thy pins make strong. For right and the left thou breakest forth, and thy seed doth nations possess. Yeshayahu Isaiah 69 reads, Surely for me isles do wait, and ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from afar, their silver and their gold with them, to the net of Jehovah, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he hath beautified thee. Now the remnant doesn't just return, they possess. Mount Zion shall be holy. Their tents shall be enlarged. Their sons come from afar. Wealth returns. Silver, gold, resources. This is not survival. This is expansion and promised inheritance. Yeshayahu Isaiah 49:18-19 reads, Lift up round about thine eyes and see. All of them have been gathered. They have come to thee. I live in affirmation of Jehovah. Surely all of them as an ornament thou puttest on, and thou bindest them on like a bride. Because thy waste in thy desolate places, and the land of thy ruins, surely now are straitened because of inhabitants, and far off have been those consuming thee. Yeshayahu Isaiah 60:3-5 reads, And come have nations to thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising. The honor of Lebanon unto thee doth come, fir, pine, and box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and the place of my feet I make honorable. Lift up round about thine eyes, and see, all of them have been gathered, they have come to thee. Thy sons from afar do come, and thy daughters on the side are supported. Then thou seest, and hast become bright, and thy heart hath been afraid and enlarged. For turn unto thee doth the multitude of the sea, the forces of nations do come to thee. Yeshayahu Isaiah 60:22 reads, The little one doth become a chief, and the small one a mighty nation. I, Jehovah, in its time, do hasten it. Here God is showing that when the people return, they not only return to spirituality and to a promise and to inheritance, but they become a mighty people. They become a nation full of light, a place of attraction. They're no longer rejected. What was once empty and desolate and destroyed, the land that was once destroyed, will become overflowing. The surrounding lands, the people there will come and help build what was desolate. They will come in and bring these beautiful things to help build the temple and the place and the home for God and for God's people. Zechariah 8:2-6 reads, Thus said Jehovah of hosts, I have been zealous for Zion with great zeal. With great heat I have been zealous for her. Thus said Jehovah, I have turned back into Zion, and I have dwelt in the midst of Jerusalem. And Jerusalem hath been called the city of truth, and the mount of Jehovah of hosts, the holy mountain. Thus said Jehovah of hosts, again do old men and old women in broad places of Jerusalem, and each his staff in his hand, because of abundance of days. And broad places of the city are full of boys and girls, playing in its broad places. Thus said Jehovah of hosts, surely it is wonderful in the eyes of the remnant of this people in those days. Also in mine eyes it is wonderful, in affirmation of Jehovah of hosts. And I have brought them in. They have dwelt in the midst of Jerusalem, and they have been to me for a people, and I am to them for God, in truth and in righteousness. Zechariah 2:11-12 reads, And joined have been many nations unto Jehovah that day, and they have been to me for a people, and I have dwelt in the midst. And thou hast known that Jehovah of hosts hath sent me unto thee, and Jehovah hath inherited Judah, his portion on the holy ground, and he hath fixed again on Jerusalem. Here is the turning point. God returns to dwell among his people. After the destruction, after the return of the remnant and the purification through the wilderness, Jerusalem becomes a city of truth, a place of peace, full of children, elders. Nations will begin to say, God is with you. Ephesians 4:31-32. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice, and become one to another kind, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, according also as God in Christ did forgive you. Zechariah 8:16-18 reads, These are the things that ye do. Speak in truth with each neighbor. Truth and peaceful judgment, judge in your gates. And each the evil of his neighbor ye do not devise in your heart. And a false oath ye do not love. For all these are things that I have hated, in affirmation of Jehovah. Thus said Jehovah of hosts, the fast of the 4th, and the fast of the 5th, and the fast of the 7th, and the fast of the 10th months are to the house of Judah for joy and for rejoicing, and for pleasant appointed seasons, and the truth and the peace they have loved. Thus said Jehovah of hosts, in those days take hold do 10 men of all languages of the nations. Yea, they have taken hold on the skirt of a man, a Jew, saying, We go with you, for we heard God is with you. This is where many teachings miss it. Restoration is not just external. Yah's people must speak truth, remove bitterness, walk in kindness, and judge righteously. Without transformation, restoration cannot be sustained. We must keep these months, keep these feasts, keep these appointed seasons and times in order to satisfy and be a service and a pleasing people unto God. Zechariah 13:1-2 reads, In that day there is a fountain opened to the house of Jacob and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, for sin and for impurity. And it hath come to pass in that day, in affirmation of Jehovah of hosts, I cut off the names of the idols from the land, and they are not remembered any more. And also the prophets in the spirit of uncleanliness I caused to pass away from the land. Here a fountain is opened for sin and impurity. Idols are removed, false prophets are cut off, and unclean spirits are driven out. The land is not just rebuilt. It is cleansed. It is cleansed. Yeshayahu, Isaiah 4:5-6 reads, Then hath Jehovah prepared over every fixed place of Mount Zion, and over her convocations, a cloud by day, and smoke, and the shining of a flaming fire by night, that over all honor a safeguard, and a covering may be, for a shadow by day from drought, and a refuge, and for a hiding place from inundation and from rain. Hazan, Revelation 21:23-24 reads, And the city hath no need of the sun, nor of the moon, that they may shine in it. For the glory of God did lighten it, and the lamp of it is the Lamb. And its gates shall not at all be shut by day, for night shall not be there. And thou shalt bring the glory and the honor of the nations into it. Here God restores his presence, cloud by day, fire by night, and protection over all. This mirrors the first Exodus when Israel came out of Egypt. Now we see the highest level. No need for sun or moon, because God's glory gives light, and the nations bring their honor into it. Deuteronomy 6:10-14 reads, And it hath been, when Jehovah thy God doth bring thee into the land which he hath sworn to thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give to thee, cities great and good which thou hast not built, and houses full of good things which thou hast not filled, and wells dig which thou hast not digged, vineyards and olive yards which thou hast not planted, and thou hast eaten and been satisfied. Take heed to thyself, lest thou forget Jehovah, who has brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of servants. And as he hath brought us thence, in order to bring us in, to give us the land which he hath sworn to our fathers. And Jehovah commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear Jehovah our God, for our good to ourselves all the days, to keep us alive, as at this day. And righteousness it is for us, when we observe to do all this command before Jehovah our God, as he hath commanded us. After everything, here God is warning us, do not forget me, because the cycle can repeat. After he has brought us out of the land of bondage and given us the land that we did not build, everything will be supplied to us. The silver, the gold, the resources, the houses, the water. He will supply everything in that land. There will be peace upon peace for his people to be able to thrive and to begin to build the temple and to build his house of worship in order to continue these sacrifices and these feasts that he wants us to continue. But we cannot go back to where we were. It cannot be another repeat of the past. We must be holy. We must stick 10 toes down and be really truthfully all about Yah and Yah only. Jeremiah 33:16 reads, In those days is Judah saved, and Jerusalem doth dwell confidently. And this is he whom Jehovah proclaimeth to her, our righteousness. Obadiah 1:21 reads, And gone up have saviors on Mount Zion, to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom hath been to Jehovah. Here you get the sense that Jerusalem is dwelling safely. Righteousness is established, and the kingdom belongs to Yah. His temple and those things are starting to be built. The children, the elderly are growing and living in peace and safety. The people are back to their homeland. The Israelites are back where they belong. Yeshayahu, Isaiah 66:11 reads, So that ye suck and have been satisfied from the breast of her consolations. so that ye ring out and have delighted yourselves from the abundance of her honor. Mishle, Proverbs 8:35 reads, For whoso is finding me hath found life, and bringeth out good will from Jehovah. Here the people are satisfied, and they have received life and walk in his favor. There is no doubt that these are the people of God, these are his chosen, and that they live only to serve and please the Most High. All praises. Yohanan Bet, 2 John 1:1-3 reads, The elder to the choice Caria and to her children, whom I love in truth, and not I only, but also those having known the truth, because of the truth that is remaining in us, and with us shall be to the age. There shall be with you grace, kindness, peace, from God the Father, and from the Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, the Son of the Father, Abba, in truth and love. Here the elect lady appears again. Not just a woman, but a people walking in truth and love. They have a relationship with the Father. They have received his love and his forgiveness, his chastisement and his purification. They have walked underneath the rod and have been tested in the furnace. They have returned. They have been spared. And they can rest in his truth. So here we saw that the nations rose, but they were judged. Edom, Esau, the Edomians, all the peoples that had a part and a play in the Israelites' suffering and in the slavery and the scattering of his people will be judged. They're being judged right now, from Israel to Gaza to Philistine. They're being judged. America, it will be judged. Jerusalem will be surrounded. But Yah will fight and protect his people. Okay? We were scattered, but we will be gathered. We will return and we will possess. We will multiply in the land, and we will dwell safely. God will dwell among us. He will cleanse us and he will transform us. He will return us back to the kingdom, and the nations will come to our light. The remnant is not just those who survive. It is those who are refined, who are gathered, and who are restored. And understand that what God begins in judgment, he will finish in glory.